On August 5th, 2023, just after sunset on a quiet trail in Bel Air, a mother of five went out for a simple walk. But somewhere along that path, while coming back, something goes terribly wrong. No screams heard, just silence in the street. Then the crime became so brutal, it would leave an entire community asking one question: who was watching her before she even knew she was being hunted? Tonight we uncover the true crime story of Rachel Morin, a loving mother who stepped out for a peaceful evening and unknowingly walked straight into darkness. So stay to the end of the video and get to know the psychological breakdown, investigation mistakes, legal analysis, and lastly, the lessons learned about the case. It was the evening of August 5th, 2023. Rachel Morin left her home heading toward the Ma and Pa Trail, a place locals described as a peaceful and familiar safe. She had walked the place before. Nothing about that evening felt different, but this time someone else was there. Someone watching, waiting, and calculating. Hours passed, and her family grew uneasy. Her boyfriend, Richard Tobin, noticed something was wrong. Rachel wasn't responding to messages and calls. And as the night grew darker, so did the truth. She was reported missing immediately. The next day, August 6th, the police search teams combed the trail, and then they found her. Hidden off close to the tunnel path, been brutally murdered, the kind of violence that investigators would later describe as personal, savage, and deeply disturbing. This wasn't random chaos. This felt targeted. And then the investigation began. The Harford County Sheriff's Office announces that they would launch an intense investigation about this case. The trail was sealed. The community was shaken. Rumors spread fast, and then questions began to be asked. Was it someone she knew? Was it someone watching her all along? Who is the suspect? Then came the detail that sent chills across the country. DNA found at the scene didn't match anyone in Rachel's immediate circle. Instead, it pointed somewhere unexpected thousands of miles away. Investigators linked the DNA to a man connected to a home invasion in Los Angeles that was caught on CCTV. This suspect was involved in a violent attack he did months before Rachel's murder. Same brutality, same pattern. A predator moving silently, leaving destruction behind. Then a suspect emerges, and the authorities identify the suspect to be Victor Martinez Hernandez, a man with a violent past accused of crossing borders and avoiding detection, leaving behind fragments of destruction. And the more they uncovered, the darker it became. This wasn't just a killer. This was someone who knew how to disappear. Investigators believed Rachel Morin wasn't his first victim, just the one that finally exposed him. A nationwide manhunt began. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. Then finally, in 2024, the suspect was captured and arrested in Tulsa, Oklahoma. A quiet arrest for a man accused of something brutal. His arrest brought answers, but not peace, and he was charged to court at the Circuit Courthouse in Harford County States, and the prosecutors brought out evidence and DNA results of his crime. He was found guilty of all charges, and Hernandez Martinez received 2 back-to-back life sentences for murder and rape, and a further 40 years for sexual assault and kidnapping. As Maryland judges lack authority to imprison criminals outside of the state, he will serve his sentence without probation in Maryland and not be returned to El Salvador. The court gave justice, but it didn't give peace to Rachel Morin family and the 5 children left behind. And a question that still lingers: how many times had this man walked among people unnoticed until it was too late? Now let's dive into the psychological breakdown of the case. What kind of person waits in silence, watching and studying for the perfect moment to strike? This wasn't chaos. This wasn't rage in the heat of the moment. This was controlled, and investigators believe Victor Martinez Hernandez fits a predatory behavioral pattern often seen in repeat offenders. He didn't need to know her, because to him she wasn't a person. She was an opportunity and vulnerable. The level of brutality suggests this wasn't his first time crossing that line, because he was moving across regions, which indicates experience in avoiding detection. And that's what makes predators like this So dangerous. They don't act randomly. They wait. Now let's dive into the investigation mistakes of the case. In every case, there are questions unanswered, not because investigators failed, but because time is the one thing they never have enough. These key challenges may include 1. Delay in discovery. The longer a scene goes undiscovered, the colder the trail becomes. 2. Open public environment. A public trail means contamination of footprints, DNA, and other many variables. 3. Unknown suspect profile. When the killer isn't local, the investigation becomes exponentially harder. 4. Cross-state/international movement. Tracking someone who moves frequently creates delays in identification. Now let's dive into the legal analysis of the case. Now we step into the courtroom. The place where emotion must become evidence and charges Victor Martinez Hernandez faced was first-degree murder. Possible aggravating factors: violence, rape, prior acts. Because Maryland does not currently carry out the death penalty. But here's the truth about justice. A sentence isn't closure. It's just the end of one chapter. Now lastly, let's dive into the lesson learned in the case. Cases like this don't just tell a story. They leave warnings, and the lessons may include 1. Familiar doesn't mean safe. The places we trust to move to every day can still hold danger. 2. Predictable routines can be observed. Doing the same thing at the same time can make someone visible, and that alone is to the wrong for a person. 3. Isolation increases risk. Even peaceful locations become vulnerable when empty. 4. Trust your instincts. That feeling, that quiet voice in your mind exists for a reason. So trust it when it triggers the warning signs for you. Because sometimes your instincts notice danger before your eyes do. A woman went for a walk on a trail she trusted. A man saw something else, not a person, but a moment. And in that moment, everything changed. Some stories don't just end, they echo. Every time someone steps onto a quiet path, they wonder, who might be watching? If this story touched you and you found this case interesting, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment below, because we are all families in this channel. We post crime videos always. Until next time, stay safe and vigilant.